So I'm currently at FNB, which is short for First National Bank. We are one of South Africa's largest banks. I think we've got a total of 36 banks within the country, and we are probably in the top 4 of the largest banks in the country. We roughly have 500 to 600 branches and 5,000 ATMs nationwide. And for the past 4 years, we've been voted the most valuable brand within South Africa. Basically, what I do is myself and my team, we look after the cash that circulates within the country through our bank. I looked into how can we do an automated validation process where instead of each individual person validating that invoice on, with the vendor's data against our data, doing it manually, how can we do this automated? So it followed very similar processes to what I did in the past, where we got data sets from the vendors, we got internal data sets, we put them into a standardized format, we pushed it into a database where it compares the 2 sets of data using various formulas to look at the similarities between the data, the key IDs between each line item. And that then would push out, is there a variance at the end of the day? And generally that process took the guys about 1.5 to 2 weeks. And now that process was basically a refresh once we had done it. So it was it automatically gets put into the database via our BI teams in the background, the programming that they run. And then you refresh monthly and you push out a cube on Excel and it shows you your validations. So that process now was like 10-15 minutes. And so basically a 3-week process now took roughly about 4 days because they still had to prepare the invoice manually. That we couldn't get around. So they had to prepare the invoice, but the validation was done. Payments could be made quicker and it freed up time. I sat on the Manco team, the management team of our CFO with the various other department heads. So we present information there as well. Then we also presented at OPCO, which is the operations committee. So we presented our financial information there for all the various operations staff. We also automated our scorecard process. So getting the various that's another project or achievement that I've done at the bank, where we automated the scorecard process. So the scorecard basically tracks the various cash centers and various branches, so to speak, on a monthly basis, tracks their performance, pulling from various figures, from various expenses, incomes, from various places, and putting that into a scorecard that gives them a score at the end of every month. And they are rated on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis on that, and on a yearly basis, and the increases and bonuses, etc., based on that. So on a monthly basis, we present that to them at OPCO, and there's various questions that they pose to us. Why were we off budget this month? What changed? What expenses changed? Where can we better ourselves going forward? So I presented there. And then I presented to my general team as well, the numbers at the end of every month. Are we in a loss situation, a profit situation? How are we checking? Where can we tighten our belt? So there was a lot of presenting that got taken place thereafter. Yeah.
So regarding the scorecard, what was your contribution to the scorecard system? I didn't catch that.
So I basically, myself and one of my colleagues in the business analyst, we basically collaborated on it and developed.
You developed it, you created it.
Yes, we created it, yes.
So this was implemented nationally.
Yes,
and
yes.
it's,
so now
it's connected to the bonus. So you've got financial goals connected to the bonus more directly through a pre-approved format of a scorecard, sold to the higher ups, implemented to everyone, and it's the point of focus on the connected to pay, which means it's an intense focus now.
Yeah.
Well done.
I mean, staff's incentives are based on their scorecards as well. So now it's just an automated process where monthly we just refresh a whole lot of pivot tables and cubes, and it pushes out the data they need.
Right.